and welcome to the Joel Wolf Podcast. Join Joel Wolf as she recounts her adventures in parenting, reveals her hard-won secrets to a strong marriage, and confides how we can all grow closer to God. You'll cheer at her victories, laugh at her calamities, and most of all, come away with the tools to tame the chaos in your own home with the courage to live life to its fullest, just the way God intended. Don't miss a single episode because life's better here.
Number 3, ignore and zap. Ignore and zap. How many of you want to be an ignore and zap parent? Doesn't that just sound like fun? I just think that's just cool. Well, you don't. Superhero, yeah. 3 points under ignoring and zap. Number 1, what it is a parent who will patiently hope that it'll just go away. If I am God's gift to patience and love and kindness, I will outlast your bad behavior. Being patient and kind, hoping that it will go away, but all the while, it is not going to go away because children love to be in control. They love to be out of control in themselves. You know what I mean? So point number 1 under there, patiently hoping it will go away. But inside the parent is going, the resentment is growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And then all of a sudden they explode. Yeah! You have a crazy parent. Everybody say crazy parent. You are not ever, after this class, going to be crazy parent again, ever. Promise me? Okay, good. So ignore and zap. Number 1, patiently hope it will just go away and resentment grows and then you explode. Number 2, I need to tell you something. Bad things do not ever go away. They get worse. They get worse. So you have to decide, what do you want in your house? And the story that they tell in the book when they're talking about this is, Joey comes in and he bounces the basketball in the house. Well, patient mommy's like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't want to always be here. Would you please stop that? No, he keeps going. So eventually, you blow up. But the problem there was that mommy hadn't decided what the rules were for the house. There is no basketball bouncing in my house. I'm sorry. So one first bounce done, should be, right? So bad things will never, ever go away. They will only grow. I always tell my kids, especially even for them, but it's this true in us towards our children. But, little things, little tiny things that are so easy to take care of, if you just let it grow and grow and grow, it becomes harder and harder and harder. It's going to take a bigger to make it go away. Bad never just disappears. You can't be patient enough to outlive their bad. Do you hear me? Is that like slapping you upside the head? So good parenting is not necessarily being patient enough to outlast. The only way you're going to outlast their bad, if you're going to be this kind of parent, is that hopefully they will move out someday and go farther away from you being bad so you just don't have to hear it. We don't want that, right? Bad things never go away, they get worse. Number 3, kids learn to get away with murder. And then, for a short moment, they get to enjoy watching you go crazy. And if they can just endure the explosion, they can go back to getting away with murder. They will learn that if they can just endure your screaming and yelling, and your final, this is it, bah! And they'll just some kids will just sit back and go, watch the show, as you are breaking a sweat, and mad and angry and frustrated. You getting that? We don't want that, right? And then they know that once you calm down and get back into patient mode, you can get out the basketball and start bouncing it again. They can go back to it. Number 3, the next reason why a parent struggle with a shift is to be worn down. How many of you just get worn down? I'm tired. Yes? You can't be worn down. You cannot be tired until they all move out. So when will that be? Calculate it right now. Figure it out. What's it, another 25 years? You can take a nap then. You can get tired. 7 more years, you're counting. 7 more years, then you can take your nap. Then you can sit down and go, I am so tired, and you can take a rest. But until then, you can't. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Tired, being too tired. You don't have permission yet. You can't. If you quit, they have no hope. So I'm sorry. So what I would say to you is, number one, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. The things that are absolutely destroying you and draining you on the inside, and the things that are making it so hard on you, those are the things you're going to have to change quickly in them so you don't get exhausted. Okay? That's your cue. Okay, that's the thing that has to go because you're killing me on that one, right? So take care of yourself. If you need a night out, get a night out. Get a babysitter, walk out the door. They will live, and then come back. Number two, make sure you have a good friend, church, and support system, because those things will help you and get you back on track. And number three, once again, you can't quit. You just can't. You got 20 more years, 25 more years, then maybe you can quit and get tired and sit down and take a nap, but you can't now. Okay, so now, oh man, I got 4 minutes to do the most important part of our thing. I need 2 helpers, someone to move this over there and someone to move that over there, and we're going to talk about what's behind here, because this is the brass tacks of kind of what we're talking about. So kind of like right here, perfect. So that you guys can see my beautiful, turn it so I can see my notes though. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So here is how do parents make the successful transfer? We talked about the things that make you not make that transfer, but here is how you are going to experience that downward, beautiful slope down to 18 when everything is perfectly fine. And this is a process right here. Right here. This is it. This is heaven on earth right here. This is it. And this process is going to happen in your life, minute by minute sometimes. One of my children, just one, well, all of them were strong-willed, but one of them, I would swear, it was about every 3.9 minutes we went through this of the day. You talk about being tired. Does anybody relate to me? Okie doke. So here's what usually happens. And so I'm going to talk, remember, this is all about how to parent without breaking a sweat. So now I'm going to tell you how things go, and this is why parents break a sweat, okay? So it starts off with happy child. See the happy child? And the happy child does a behavior. So let's pick a behavior, like maybe he's 3 years old, he picks up his truck and goes over and hits Johnny on the head with it. Or maybe he's 7 and you have to go into Toys R Us and get a birthday present, and he picks up a toy. I want this toy, I want this toy, I want this toy. Or maybe it's a teenager doing all sorts of things. I mean, the sky is the limit on that one, right? But what you have is you have happy child, and see the smile, and you have happy mom. Everything is rosy until the behavior happens, right? So the behavior happens, and that behavior does something. That behavior, you look at that child, and you have to know your limit. Your limit is the thing that says, oh, well, that's okay, you can do that. Or your limit is the thing that says, no, draw the line. Okay? So this is what the limit is. You've hit your limit. So this mom watches the child have their behavior. She hits her limit, but there is a massive problem with this mama, because right here, in the midst of this behavior, she becomes frustrated. Oh, no. We are at it again. We are back where I was 3.5 minutes ago. Are you kidding me, kid? What are you doing? She is a frustrated mom. So here's a mom with a frustrated face. And then what do moms usually do when there's a behavior going on and they want it to stop? They raise your voice. She starts to yell. How about the 1, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4? Is this too loud for you? Because I think I get kind of loud. If it's too loud, you want me to, is it like hurting your ears? Okay, it is hurting their ears. Turn them down just a little bit, because I get loud. 2.5, 2 3/4, 2 9/10. You start counting. Don't ever count. Can I just tell you that right now? Don't ever count. Life, when you're out there in life, like on your job, does your boss go 1, 2? What do? That's right. So you are not showing them reality. Don't ever count. Don't ever count, because they know. Mom counts to 3. I have 1 and 2 to do anything I want. And if I change right at 3, she'll stop counting and then I can start doing it again. Don't ever count. Okay? It has to be done there. So they start yelling. They start counting. What else do they do? Their face turns bright red. Then they start sweating about right here. Yes, because when you hit the consequence, they're at a loss. We're going home right now. You, fill in the blank. Threats. Unenforceable threats at that point. And your child looks at you and says, really? Cool. Let's see about that. So they threat. There's unenforceable words. You're going to say things, we're just going to put that away and go home right now. How many of you ever seen a mom in the store actually do that? Like walk? No, they don't. They just keep yelling because they have to get the stuff that's in their carts, right? Yes? So once you lay down the consequence, the child will protest every time. So what does a protest look like? Fit, yelling, screaming, crying, loud, not pleasant, right? And what that does is the mom that has been going through all of this, she becomes powerless in the protest because she doesn't have strength. She has no power because she hasn't done a consequence that's enforceable, right? She's powerless in that protest. And then during the protest, so the job of mother through protest is to endure. I'm going to write endure up here. But what she does during that protest there is she gets tired. How many have done that before? And then give in. Okay, eat the candy. Just shut up so I can finish. How many have ever said that? Maybe not shut up, but you give in, right? And then, so the change, on your paper there it says internalized boundary, but I want you to scratch that and say change. So what has happened is the mom changes expectations. I'm not even spelling it right. Anyway, you know the word. So the mom changes her expectations. Okay? Now, when this occurs, she's sweating, she's upset, she's yelling, she's bargaining, she's at a loss, she feels frustrated, she's powerless, she's tired, she gives up, and she has to change in the middle of all that. And what happens is, and I want you to write this down underneath that, I want you to write down that immediate gratification that your child now gets because you gave in, immediate gratification always delays maturation. Immediate gratification, give in, always produces delayed gratification. So now I'm going to talk this through how we're going to do this from now on, because we're going to parent with success. We're not going to parent with sweat. So we have a happy mom, happy child. We have behavior. We have 3-year-old going over hitting Johnny on the head with the truck. Okay, so what we have at that point, and this is where you shift. Everybody say shift, change. Get a new perspective right now in your head, okay? Be willing to. What you need to have is mommy needs to be happy. You are excited. Every time your child does something wrong, you are happy because now you are given an opportunity to teach them, to train them, and to give them a consequence that's going to hurt, that they are going to learn by and change at the end of the process. So now, from now on, even if it's been only 3.5 minutes since you did this, you stay happy. Mommy is always happy. Children have to know that they do not have the power to make you mad or sad or upset or ruined. You are a happy mommy, and you will remain so. They're the ones that have to decide, are they going to be happy with you or not? Does that make sense? Mommy always stays happy. Happy mommy, because all of a sudden now we have opportunity. Everybody say opportunity. Perfect. So mommy, this happy mommy, has really determined what her world's going to look like. You have to determine, is it okay for your kid to come up and slap you on the rear and run away? Is it okay for your child to come up and interrupt you? Is it okay for your child to fill in the blank? What is it okay for your child to do, and what is it not okay for your child to do? What do you want happening inside the culture of your home? I want you to think in your head, your home, there's the living room, there's the family room, the kitchen, where all the family, all the people of your family, of your tribe get to coexist together. What do you want that place to look like? What do you want in there? What do you want? Come on. Peace. What else do you want? Laughter. Huh? Respect? These are all things you better know. Don't just have a thought, a happy family. Know the things that you want. Then you're going to know when they're being transgressed, and then you'll know where your limits are. Is it okay for your kid to look at you and say, I hate you? Is that okay? I will guarantee you they will. So, is it okay for that to live in your world? Happy moms, successful moms and dads. I'm sorry, I think mom because I am one. Okay, so please forgive me, all you guys. But they also know what's going to work in their family and what's not going to work. And anything that doesn't work, there were plenty of things in our household that happened on a daily basis in our living room, family room, that were bad. Jasmine and Caleb hated each other. They would fight. But that's not what I wanted in my home. So I didn't allow it. I saw it, I addressed it, and we worked on it. And my kids love each other right now so much it's almost ridiculous. I'm like, would you stop? So I want to challenge every one of you. You are in control of your home. You are in control. They must comply to what you want in your home. They are not, they're visitors. They're, they weren't there for a long time, and then they come, and then they're going to go away. So don't let them destroy your... But at the same time, you better know what you want. And you better build it. And you better talk really cool about it. I love the wolves. The wolf house is so cool. I remember learning about this at a parenting thing we're all in the van. We love the wolves. So I look back and nobody's saying anything. They're looking at me like, Mom has lost her mind. Oh no, people, we love the wolves. We love being wolves. We love all the wolves in this van, don't we? Crickets. No, come on, people. So it didn't happen right away, but it was something that we built. You got to make your home, your place. So that means that Mama has to be. Daddy needs to be. This place has to be a happy place. Therefore, your marriage, if you are married sitting here, that's your number one priority. Number one. I got books on marriage. I got a book for anything. I better hurry. Okay, yeah, aren't I terrible? Okay, so limits. When this happy, successful mama comes over to consequence, she is a prepared mama or daddy. It doesn't scare her at all. She's never at a loss. She never uses unenforceable words. She never does anything that she can't pull off. And I'm going to talk about consequences and boundaries pretty soon here, or maybe tomorrow because I'm running out of time. But she is prepared. And Love and Logic is very, very good at this. And I love this. I wish I would have done this better. They don't have a problem with a delayed consequence. Now, the older the child is, the more delayed you can make it. But if you're at a loss, don't let them know. Don't let them know. Just look at them and say, we're going to talk about this. I'm going to give you some practicals. But you can say something to the effect of, you crossed the line. You are outside of good behavior right now. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do about it. Give me a minute. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to come up with something really good. And while you're waiting, don't worry, because it's going to be great. And just walk away. Don't get yourself in trouble. Don't get yourself committed to something that you can't do. Give yourself a minute to step back, call your husband or your wife and say, what do I do? Call your mom, call somebody, get some wisdom, and then you come back and you give it to them. Now, you can do that with older kids. Younger kids, it has to be shorter periods of time between, action or activity and consequence, right? But this is a prepared mom. She is ready to go, and she is okay with the consequence, and so is the daddy. We realize that love is something. Now, the other thing, too, right in here, this mama, right here, remember, she's staying happy. She never gets mad at the kid. She feels sorry for him. Everybody say empathy. Because now you know it's going to hurt him. So you look at them and you go, oh, so sorry. It really is. It's really, now you can't be sarcastic. Sucks for you, sucks to be you today. You can't do that. You have to go, I am so sorry. This is going to hurt. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know. And then you give them the consequence, and as they protest, you are going to endure with empathy all the way through. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I know. It's rough. I know. I'm so sorry. And when they're done with the protest, they will go through, you will see anger. You will see rage. You'll see frustration. Then eventually it will turn into sadness. And what's the other word? Sorry. Oh, I have it in the next thing. But eventually it would turn to sadness, and they'll get kind of quiet. And then what you will have is a child, because mom didn't change, now the child will change on the inside. They'll say, okay, I can't do that anymore because the pain of doing that costs too much. So I am going to change on the inside of me. I'm going to start making changes on the inside. If you will require them to have delayed gratification, the reverse is true now. It will produce instant maturation in your children. And once again, what we talked about just a little bit ago, if you give your children instant gratification, they will have delayed maturation. But what does delayed gratification do? Is it fun? It hurts. And that's where some parents have a hard time. They think hurt is harm. But you can't. Okay, if you do it this way, and I'm going to just, I know I'm kind of probably out of order on your notes there. If you do it this way, the behavior or the choice, if you do it this way, the parent is the child's problem. Because they're yelling, they're frustrated, they're angry. The parent is the problem. The parent is the adversary. The power struggle is with the parent, and the boundary remains external. And the change is within the parent's expectation. If you do it this way, and we're going to close with this, if you do it this way up here, the choice is the problem, the limit is the adversary, the power struggle is within, the boundary is internalized, and the change happens inside of the child. And that's what you want. We're going to go over this a lot more detailed tomorrow, but I want you to pick up on what do you see right here? Happy mom. Opportunity, not problem. Opportunity.
Thanks for joining us today for this episode of the Joel Wolf Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the message. Don't forget to subscribe to receive more great content regularly, and visit us online at joelwolf.me, as well as on Facebook at facebook.com/author Joel Wolf. Be sure to check out Joel's latest book, Courage in Chaos, which Dr. Kevin Lehman says inspires both the heart and the head in equal measure. It's available for purchase at her website. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, Have a great day.